Good evening, everybody. How's it going? We are playing Frontier Scum tonight. This was a bit of an impromptu thing. We ran a little bit of a Twitter poll, thinking we were going to do Cyborg next, but here we are, playing something else. So excited for this. What we're doing tonight is a zero session. We're going to talk about the game, the rules a little bit. But before we do that, we got to create some characters. So playing with me tonight is Jess, Ryan, and Ducky. So we got a trio this time. Hopefully that's okay. Maybe you guys can pick up a follower or something. But this game, let me pull up the PDF here. You guys should be able to see it in the center. It is a game about wanted outlaws making their mark on a lost frontier. So this is not the American West. This is a very different stylized West, acid Western, if you will. If you've ever seen El Topo, there's a bunch of movie references in this book, which I'll talk about to give you a good kind of mental, well, some visuals anyway. So it is, where are the movies? Oh, here we go. Inspired by Dead Man, which is a good one with Johnny Depp. Ravenous, one of my personal favorites. Bone Tomahawk, which is more horror. So this game does have some... Yeah, Bone Tomahawk's great. It does have some horror elements in this. The Hateful Eight, El Diablo, Gallow Walkers, The Quick and the Dead, The Lighthouse. I think The Lighthouse is a great example, even though it's not technically a Western. The Witch and I Sell the Dead. So that is the gist, but we're going to begin right here. Page 13. But I guess before we begin, we should thank some people, because this stream would not be possible without at least one person, two people. Carl Druid, of course, for making this awesome game, and McGlintlock for the system. So we run on Foundry, if you did not know, and Foundry doesn't require systems, but it makes life a little bit easier. And so McGlintlock, I know you're out there. Thanks, man. Go check him out. He's got a Patreon with a bunch of awesome roll tables. I don't know if there's any Frontier Scum roll tables yet, but I'm sure if there's not, they'll be coming. Anyway, so this game, we played Merkborg, a little bit of Merkborg here. I guess the rule set's somewhat reminiscent of that. I know Carl mentioned it was kind of the inspiration for it, and then he like went off on a tangent and did his own thing. Because it's a D20 based system. Rollover, DR12, the difficulty rating of 12 when you're trying to do ability checks or attacks is 12 or higher. But rolling for your character is a little bit different. We're doing a D4 minus D4, which I believe that was Death in Space, right? If I remember right.
Holy take, just right from Death in Space.
Yeah,
but it's amazing.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's an interesting way to do it for sure. I like it. And then our four stats. What's up?
No, I was just gonna say, if you want to hear Carl talk about it, we did do not one but two weekly scroll episodes. One with an interview with Carl Druid talking about the game, and two, the second one actually reading and reviewing through the entire game. But a lot of really good insight from Carl about, like you said, how it kind of started as a Merkborg hack and then turned into pretty much its own thing, and then the Death in Space bits and stuff like that too. So really good insight over on the socials and things. Yeah, go check them out. We got it on both on YouTube, both on Twitch if you don't want to go to YouTube. But let's get started. We'll talk about rules later, I think, once we get these characters rolled up, because this is the funnest part. So first thing first, I need everybody to roll me a D4 minus D4, and I can switch over briefly to the whoa, that got loud. Sorry about that, everybody. Maybe I need to switch over here. That's what it was. Sorry, I have two volumes going on, guys. Anyway, feel free to roll, you guys. D4 minus D4. And let me switch over the overlay so you guys can see. Oh man, why can't you guys see? Bam! Here's our little roll table.
So what do we got? We got Jess rolled a 1 minus a 3. Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Ooh. Get some weird feedback.
Yeah, what is that?
I can say I hear a little bit of static. Yeah.
Is it picking you up? There, now it's gone. Gone? Okay, that's gone. All right, so what do we got, guys? So Ryan, you just rolled a, oh, you did the math in the thing. What did you get?
-1, right?
Oh yeah, Ryan got a -1.
I
Ducky,
got
you rolled a
-2.
4 -1, so that's a 3.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get the PDF back up here so everyone can see what's going on. All right. Whoa, what is that? Is that me? Are you talking, Ryan? I think it's you.
I was, but it's not me. My mic is muted.
What the heck?
Something is picking up the music and running it back through.
Weird. All right, so the first thing you guys are rolling for is grit. Maybe I'll just mute the music for now. Maybe that's the problem.
So what we just rolled is grit.
Yes.
Not very gritty.
Man, I still hear that.
Yeah, it's coming through somebody's microphone.
I mean, I guess it could be mine.
Oh, okay.
I have my music down pretty low. Let me mute and see if you still hear it.
I hear nothing.
So is it mine?
Maybe. Or you're not using a headset, right? You're using a computer speaker?
No, but the music sounds super low. Let me.
Yeah, put your headset. Try your headset. All right. So do you guys, if you double click on your avatars, you'll have access to your character sheets and you'll see where you need to put your ability scores. And we got, so anyway, yeah, I'll run through the abilities. So grit is your strength, toughness, intimidation, and melee combat. Slick is your dexterity, aim, deception, ranged combat. Wits is your knowledge, perception, persuasion, and medicine, and luck. Because, I mean, how could there not be luck in a Western game, right? Gambling, sheer serendipity, and not getting shot. Cool thing about this is you don't when you're shooting and there's no, it's not a quote unquote tough shot. You just hit. It's nuts. It could be super deadly if you're not careful, which makes sense. I mean, guns are dangerous.
It's guns.
Guns are dangerous. So what do we got, guys? How's your scores looking? What do you got, Jess, for your grit?
-2.
-2. All right. What about you, Ryan?
I got a -1 for grit.
And Ducky, you got a 3, right?
Yeah.
You're a gritty bastard. All right. So did you guys roll anything else yet? Did you move on to Slick yet?
Yeah, I rolled all mine.
Okay.
Overachiever.
Overachiever. Well, why don't you run through your scores? Let's see what you got.
For grit, I got a -1. For slick, I got a 2. For wits, I got a 0. And for luck, I got a 2.
Okay. Not bad, not bad.
Slick and luck kind of feels like a character brewing already.
Yeah, for sure. What did you get? Have you guys done yours yet, Jess and Ducky?
No, didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you do that math in
I think you just do /R.
Use slash roll. Yeah, slash roll d4 minus d4, and it just automatically does it.
Yeah.
Like that. Let's see if that works.
Nice, nice.
Cool. All right. Well, let us move on. Your maximum HP. I love how in a lot of these rule books, it's like a guided tour of character creation. You don't see that often, but these I dig this. So your maximum HP is D6 plus grit with a minimum of 1. So what'd you say your grit was? -1, Ryan?
Yeah, so my HP is 5.
All right. And I should mention, in this game, they are outlaws. Part of this character creation is going to be that they are wanted for something dead or alive. So that puts an interesting spin on this, meaning someone's more or less going to always be looking for these fellas. And lady. But we don't know what they did yet. We'll find out. So Ducky and Jess, are you on 2 yet? Rolling your HP?
Yeah. So HP is grit plus the D6.
Yeah.
So it's D6 plus grit, yeah, and you can.
Ooh, okay.
1 at the very, very least is a 1.
8 HP.
I'm gonna be no help at all. Sorry, guys.
What is your HP?
4, but like all my stat, like my highest stat is 1.
I've got a -3 in wits. So
Oh,
sounds about right.
Me too.
You're gonna probably have a drooling problem, right? Something like that. Oh, Ryan, you put the old West sign up for the subscriber.
Yeah, you got
Nice. I dig it. I didn't know that. What a surprise. All right. Thank you for the sub. So let me know when you guys have your HP, and we will talk about traits, which is hyperlinked on page 14. This is where we're going to see what kind of outlaw scum we are. Well, they are, not me. So Ducky and Jess, I know Ryan's done. Are you guys ready to roll?
Yeah.
Who you are?
Yeah.
All right. So first thing, you are outlaw scum with, roll me a D66. So /R space D66.
It's not. It's 6 and 6.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's 2 6s.
D6 and D6.
So just roll
sorry.
2d6.
Okay.
Not 1 to 66. That's my fault. So, what'd you get, Ryan? Did you roll first? No. Yeah,
I got a 53. I got delicate sensibilities.
Oh, what? This will be interesting for you to
know me.
play. Yeah, you're such a
Yeah.
delicate flower. And what's your other? So you're with delicate sensibilities and what? What do you got? What's your other trait?
Is there anywhere to put that in on the sheet?
Let me see. Let me double click on somebody.
I don't think there is.
Oh, it's your name. You're a what? I would put it right there, I guess.
Oh yeah, well that's our classes later. No, that's the
weird.
class I'm overwanted for later. So I'm just gonna write it in the notes.
Okay.
With delicate sensibilities.
And what? What else did you roll? What was your second one?
And a 12 and piercing eyes.
Wow. Ladies man. Delicate with eyes that could kill.
with lots of slick and luck.
There you go.
There you go. See?
You got a
A
character.
maverick.
RPG makers out there, roll tables, use them. They make it so much cooler. All right, so who's up next? Jess or Ducky? Have you rolled your
Fuck.
D66s? What do you got?
I have an artist's soul and a hook hand.
Wow. Do you
Dude,
paint? Do you
guys
paint
don't
with
need me
your?
in this
Do you
game.
paint? Do you paint
your
with a
hook
hook?
hand?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I take a
Oh.
leather strap and I tie a paintbrush onto
Okay.
my hook.
Okay. I mean, you could be any kind of artist. You could be a musician where you strum a guitar with your hook, or a banjo, or a fiddler. Maybe you play a fiddle with your hook. It could be anything. You could write, dip your hook in an inkwell.
Maybe you
Write
stab a
beautiful.
harmonica onto it.
Yeah. You could do anything.
All right.
Artist
I'll
is
get
a
more
very
creative, I guess.
general term. So.
Yeah.
All right. So what about you, Ducky? What did you get?
So we had to roll 2d66.
Sorry, you roll
No.
2d6
Okay.
and then 2d6. So if you roll like a 1 and a 2, that's 12. Does that make sense? Yeah, sorry. I shouldn't have said RD66.
I mean, you can do
Okay.
it that way, right?
So
Well, the
Okay.
lowest you can get is an 11.
Oh, I see.
If you rolled a D66, you could still get a 1.
Nice.
So I got a mysterious past with
Okay.
a singer's voice.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Got a crazy bunch going on here. Okay. All right, so let's move along.
No, we have like 2 really cool guys. One like shitty hook hand.
One hook hand.
Hey, listen, there ain't nothing wrong with the hook hand.
No. Hey, it could be of use. for
That's
sure.
true.
Could be.
All right, so now one of the coolest parts of this game too, because like I said, you're wanted, you're an outlaw. What are you wanted? Are you wanted dead or alive? Roll a d4 for me, everybody. What'd you get?
Yeah, dead or alive.
Okay, either. Easy.
Oh, who's wanted dead? Ducky.
Oh no.
Dead man.
That singing voice got you in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a -3 in wit, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Terrible singer. What did you get, Jess? A 1?
A 1. So dead,
So dead or alive. Okay. For the crime of what? Now we got to figure out what are you guys wanted for. Roll me a d12. Actually, it's going to be 2d12.
Damn.
So you got Ryan got a what?
Got a 4 and a
4 and a
1, so
1.
I'm wanted for
Casual.
the crime of casual loitering.
You know why? Because those piercing eyes, man.
Casual
Those-
I
those
was literally
piercing-
just hanging out.
Casual.
And someone was like, fuck this guy.
Nice.
Wow. All right. Casual loitering. Okay, so Jess, you got a 7 and a 3.
Yeah.
Wanton.
Wanton.
What? What's the other one? 3 is
Extortion.
extortion. Okay.
Yeah.
And Ducky, you rolled a 2, and what else? Did you roll twice? So a 2 and a 5?
Yeah, attempted smuggling.
Okay. Attempted smuggling. You guys are an interesting bunch already.
Casual loitering.
Casual loitering.
You're
All
like
right.
the coolest character.
I can't wait to see how you play this character. That'd be great.
And then our reward is the total. So 4 and 5. So I'm only worth 50 silver. I'm literally like basically not even in trouble because they don't even want me dead.
Yeah, that's true.
What are your rewards?
Wait, how do we find that out?
It's the number. Yeah, it's the total result
numbers times
multiplied
10.
by 10. Yeah. So you got a 7 and a 3, right? So you're
Yeah.
10 times 10, so 100.
100.
100 silver.
70.
And what about you, Ducky? What are you
I've
worth?
got
What's
70
your bounty?
on
70.
my head.
70. Okay.
And they want me dead for that? Damn.
It's a harsh lost frontier out there. All right, so next up, we're going to do backgrounds. This is really interesting in this game because you guys have to be a little bit creative here. It's not just picking something off a table. These are prompts that will yield you a skill. So the first thing we're going to do, so roll d12 for your background. Then you roll d6 twice and use any of the prompts to come up with your starting skills. And then another d6 for your starting items. And I can scroll down, or you guys can scroll down your PDF to look at example skills. So for the audience, I'll scroll down. So for example, if I rolled like, you learn to craft. A skill I picked up when I learned to craft. Some example skills would be sewing clothes, whittling wood, repairing guns, but it can be anything. It does not have to be off this list. You just need to be inspired by the prompt that you rolled. And how these skills work is if you use the skill in an event where you're rolling, you get advantage on it. So you have to kind of think creatively about, hey, I can use sewing clothes for something, right? Whatever it might be. So what did you guys get?
I got Drifter.
Okay.
Wait, where are the backgrounds?
Page 16.
It's under the big tag that says backgrounds.
Oh.
That's a Jason move. Thanks, Ryan. Well, it says roll d12. What? And I
Yeah, so
rolled
roll a d12
Okay.
first.
did.
What'd you get?
A 3.
3. So
You're
you're a
discharged
discharged deputy. And then you
Where
roll.
are you seeing this?
See
Look
the
on-
giant numbers on
look
the
on
page?
the look on the
God
art.
damn.
One carcass trapper.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
that's the d12 value. So you
Sorry,
got
I thought
discharged.
we were rolling for each of these. I see.
No. You got a discharged deputy, right? So now a skill earned by what? Roll a d6. So 5. Arresting the sheriff. So like I was talking to Ducky earlier, you could say, I'm good at intimidation, or I'm confident. And you could use that to your advantage in a situation. That's just an example, by the way. You can do whatever you want. And then you roll another d6, and that gives you, roll d6 twice for your starting items. And what do we get? I'm guessing, Ryan, you've already rolled all your stuff, right?
I didn't. I got literally like the one that there's like 2 or 3 where I was like, any but those fits with my character concept, and I got like the one where I'm like, this makes no sense at all. I got Butcher Cook with my delicate sensibilities.
Butcher Cook. Okay. And what was your skill? The skill learned when what?
Oh, I haven't even rolled it yet.
So roll a d6.
All the meat rotted.
Okay. Because you were too busy talking to ladies with your piercing eyes. What did you roll for your, did anybody roll their, or actually their knickknacks and their items, starting items? What did you guys get?
I have a deputy badge.
Okay. You roll it twice though.
So you get 2?
Yeah.
Okay. 6. So spyglass.
Okay. What about you, Ducky?
So I'm still doing my skills. Since I rolled for Drifter, my 2 skills just come from the bonus skills list, right?
Let me look. Where's Drifter? Roll twice on the bonus skills and twice on the bonus items. Yep.
Okay, sweet.
So you can, I guess that's going to make your life easier because then you can just pick one of these. So what are your items, Ryan? For the Butcher Cook.
Once again.
What is this delicate butcher?
All the meat rotted and someone poisoned the stew. And my items were 1 and a 2. A beef shank and a meat hook.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. So you got somebody in your party with a hook hand and you also have a meat hook.
So
Nice. So did you roll, sorry Jess, did you roll d6 twice? You have to roll it twice 3
The
skills,
skill.
and then another twice. Yeah, so 2 skills.
Okay. Got a 6, a drinking on the job, and arresting the sheriff.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So now you need to think of when I did these things, these things happened to me, when I arrested the sheriff, when I was drinking on the job, what skill would that yield, possibly? And this is totally up to you.
Okay.
This is not like something you need to pick from a list. But if you want to look at an example of the skills, you can go down to bonus skills. But everybody gets to do this. So in addition to the skills from your background, you also begin with a skill from the table below. Roll a d66 and use the prompt to invent a skill, or choose one of the examples. So that's 2. Yeah, that's just
Ooh.
So Ducky, you got, was that an old one or was that the new one?
Oh, for my skills or items?
I don't know. I just see these are so many D66s. Did you
Oh.
roll the skills yet?
Yeah, I did my skills. So
Okay.
I got, what was it? I was lost in the wilderness, and then the train derailed.
Okay.
So I gave that so that gives me the ability to forage for plants and then train surfing.
Okay. Train surfing. Give you a little hint that might come in handy in this adventure coming up. There may or may not be a train involved. So what about you, Ryan? Did you roll your bonus skills yet?
I did. I staged a jailbreak.
Oh.
Because apparently I got locked up for my casual loitering while I was taking a break from being
But you're still
butcher
wanted
cook.
dead or alive.
It started so good, and then just, whew.
Hey, Andy's in the chat. What's up, Andy? Evil Andy.
What's funny is one of the things is impersonate lawfolk. So I can impersonate a lawfolk, and I have a meat hook. So basically, I just copy Jess's character. Is that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you guys, if you want to like think about these skills based on the prompts, we don't have to do it on the spot, but if you have some ideas, go for it. And did you roll your bonus skill, Jess, yet?
Yeah, a saloon caught on fire, and I can now jump through fire, endure heat, and start fire.
Well, it's one of those things. So you
Oh.
choose one of the things on the right. Because you're rolling for one skill. So for example, if I rolled, you killed your first scum, I can throw bottles, knife fights, revolver ricochets. One of those things.
I feel okay. Maybe starting fire is useful. I don't know. Jumping through fire could be useful. I guess I'll start fire.
Okay. And you can make it up too. This is not, you do not have to pick one of these. These are just
Okay.
examples to help you out. All right, moving
Now,
on.
So, well, I got a question because these are prompts for things, right? So I have a skill based on when someone poisoned the stew.
Let me scroll up and look at that really quick. Someone poisoned your stew, your personal stew. So you could be like, I have a resistance against poison or something.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. Or it could be like, I can make poisons because I drank some down. Maybe I can make something, right?
Going to be resistant or so I'm already a cook. Probably have a bunch of ingredients.
Yep.
I'm gonna do make poisons because I can just poison the meat that I serve people.
Yeah. And just to remind all of you out there and the viewers as well, what skills do, they don't allow you to automatically succeed doing something. If you attempt to do something that is involved with this skill, like say Ryan's like, hey, I looked around for some stuff, I found some things, I want to try to make a poison. He would get advantage on that roll. That's all it means. It doesn't mean like you automatically get to make poison or you automatically can start a fire or jailbreak or whatever it may be.
Okay, so
Kind of like it's just proficiencies basically. Gives you a little bit of bonus.
So all my meat went bad and someone poisoned the stew, so I can resist poison and make poison.
Wait. You rolled. So you're trying to. Okay.
Those are my two skills.
What was the first one?
My first two were all the meat went bad, all the meat rotted, and someone poisoned your stew. But down here, one of the things is the beans went bad, and the skill is resist poison. And I figure the meat going bad is similar, so I can prompt that for resist poison.
Or you could, I think another cool thing to that might be, you can survive on about anything. So imagine you're out in the desert and you find some like completely rotted carcass of something, and you could eat it and not get sick. So kind of the same thing, but yeah. Okay, are we good on skills, everybody? So did you guys actually use the prompts to come up with skills? I know Ducky, you just got to roll, but
yeah.
What about you, Jess? Did you devise any skills based on the prompts? Or are you
do we devise 2 skills, one based on each prompt, or are the 2
So
prompts
I believe you get what is it? 3
in
skills total, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you get 2 skills for your background.
Okay.
And then you get 1 bonus skill, so a total of 3.
Okay.
Yeah, see, Papa Jedi, man, roadkill chef. Look at that. With piercing eyes. He has this problem about casually loitering, though.
Yeah.
Such a random combination.
Can I be good at like grappling people since I arrested the sheriff?
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
And
Maybe you had to
drinking?
put up quite a fight, so you're able to do hand-to-hand combat. You get a bonus to that, maybe. Advantage.
Drinking on the job, could I like
So there is a
like,
condition
remain
called
coordinated?
Yeah, there's a condition called drunk in this, where I believe you randomly swap 2 abilities. So you could maybe use that to avoid that if you wanted to. Like imagine yourself in a situation and you guys are trying to drink somebody under the table. Maybe you get advantage so you don't get drunk and you kind of keep your wits about you. But whatever you want, I'm just throwing out ideas.
What are the odds we're gonna be in a drinking competition though?
Or drinking on
considering there's literally an entire spread about being in a drinking competition later in the book.
Yeah. But if you think about it, like drinking on the job, that doesn't necessarily have to be involved with drinking. It's just you were doing something deleterious on the job, right? So if you use that to think about it in that regard, you can probably come up with all kinds of things.
Yeah, that's kind of originally what I
So drinking on the job, maybe you had some really sweet moonshine and you got a vision. And this vision unlocked some, I don't know. I'm just making shit up. But yeah, you could do that. Or it could be, I don't know. Think about it.
Yep.
We can come back to it. You guys all did your bonus skills. And remember, like I said, you do not have to pick one from the list on the right. You can use it. You can still use the what's on the left as a prompt. These are just to kind of help you along, give you examples. But you can totally pick one if you want. All right, next up. Bonus items. So on top of your background items, you also start with an item from the table below. A canteen with a day's worth of water, as well as D10 silver for each ability under 0. So why don't you guys make note of your canteen with a day's worth of water, and then also roll me a D10 for every ability you have that is not 0 or lower. So Ryan, you got a 10.
Yeah.
You only have
and
one
I have one
ability. Right?
I got one ability less than 0, so I got 10 silver.
Alrighty. 10 silver. So Ducky, you got 20 silver. Just got, how many skills do you just have? One?
9 silver, yeah.
Okay, so 9 silver. All right, so now we are rolling another D66. To choose our items, bonus items. And these are like tables within tables, right? So
some of them are.
Some of them are. So like 12, for example, a bottle. Then you roll a D. If you get that, you roll a D8, and then if you look on the right, there's 8 items in the roll table. You choose whatever you roll on the D8 after that. So what did you guys get? So you got a 1 and a 3, Jess, which is a fly net. Okay.
Wait. I'm on the wrong page. Okay. Yep.
Fly net. So Ryan and Ducky need to roll.
I did. I got a fishing rod, which, again,
fly net
I'm just
fishing
a hungry
rod.
bastard. I can fish. I can cook. I can butcher. I am your guy if you need some to eat, apparently.
Yep.
Or at least have it cooked. And one of you can start a fire. And Ducky, you can find food? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
So we can find food, start a fire, and cook it. We are a crew.
Perfect.
Look at
We
that.
won't go hungry. But we don't have any skill.
And I won't even poison you, probably.
Man. All right. Now, just like any good Western, right? We got to saddle up, folks. So you begin with a stolen horse, saddle, and saddlebacks. We need to roll on these tables for the details. So the first thing we're going to do is roll a d20, and that's going to determine what kind of horse or mule we got.
We don't,
Wow, just rolled a 20. Racehorse.
That's right.
Holy crap.
I'm gonna need
we
it.
don't have the horse character sheet, right?
Yeah, it's in here. I'll have to,
Where is that?
I think I need to create one for you. Let me see here. Actors. Yeah, I think it's a separate sheet. Create actor, character. Yep, horse. So I'll just put
Riding horse.
there. I'm gonna give you guys your character sheets. I just gotta configure the ownership. So Jess, you should have a horse token on the right side.
Okay.
And let's do Ryan's. And you guys can just rename these whatever you want when you get a chance.
Oh, aren't there names in here? Yeah, we have to roll for name on the animal.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, when
Oh wait,
you can rename
we haven't
the
even rolled
token.
our names yet. Did we pass?
We
the
have
names
not.
section?
It's the first thing you do, but I figured maybe we'd want to roll the character, so we can scroll back up real quick and roll some names. Yeah, there's a name table. So observer, Ryan, owner. Okay, Ryan, you got your horse, and then Ducky.
See no horse.
You don't see it in the character side?
I have no idea
Oh,
what you mean.
the token tab.
Oh, is it the third icon on the
Yeah.
chat
Well,
bar?
yeah,
Okay.
it's the third. Yeah, third for you. Fourth for me. All right, Ducky.
Oh,
you should
Ryan's
have-
horse. Aha!
There you go. All right, so let's do some names. Let's get some names for these people now that we're getting a better picture of what we're dealing with here. So names. 3D66, which means you're gonna have your first name, your nickname, and a last name. You guys are more than if you guys roll something you don't like, you can totally pick whatever you want, or you can make up your own name.
All right, I rolled 66. So that means my name, according to this, is Belzebeth. I don't know how I feel about that.
Sounds like a female name, but you know.
Belzebeth, Slim, Gambit.
Slim Gambit? Belzebeth Slim Gambit? Oh man, I don't know about that one.
Belzebeth, but they call me Belzebeth Gambit, but they call me Slim. Slim the Butcher.
Yes, Andy, they are wanted dead or alive. At least Ducky's wanted dead, and I believe Jess and Ryan are wanted dead or alive. So what are the names, guys? Don't be so quiet. Share it with everybody.
Well, I rolled Belzebeth twice, so I guess I'm gonna stick with Belzebeth. And I'm just gonna go by the rest of my name, which is just Slim Gambit.
You could go by Belzy. Belzy Slim
I go by
Gambit.
Bell.
Or Bell, yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go by Slim Gambit.
Okay. Is that how you want your name to appear under your portrait?
Slim
in quotes?
Gambit. Yeah, Slim Gambit.
All right, let's do that. We are updating the overlay.
Oh, mine's pretty bad.
What is it?
It's ham sore, rot gut ping.
Wait, say that again.
Ham sore, rot gut ping.
Okay. So on your where I put your name, what do you want that to be? Do you want that entire thing? Ham sore? Ham sore?
Ham sore, rot gut. Like I have rotten guts.
Roddy?
Rowdy.
I gotta see how to spell this. Hamster. Hamster. Okay.
Well, it's S-O-R.
Yeah. I kept thinking like ham. Yeah.
Like S-O-R-E.
Sore hams. Yeah. Okay. So is that what you're sticking with, or do you want to roll again?
No.
Ryan rolled twice. I'll give you guys.
I rolled like 8 times.
You rolled like
I hit
8 times?
51 twice, so I said, "Fuck it. If I get it twice, that's my name."
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Let's see what 27 is. Maybe that's better than ham store.
All right, Slim Gambit, you're up on the overlay.
Oh shit.
What did you get, Dougie?
I got Elidor, Skunk Eggs, Goodmonson.
Good Monson.
Skunk eggs?
Yep.
Wow. So
I make the best pickled eggs in the West.
Good Monson. So how do you want this on the overlay? Do you want everything on there?
Yeah. Let's go with everything. If it'll fit.
Everything? Okay, so hang on. Hopefully it'll fit. Let's see. So tell me again. Sorry, what was your first name?
Elidor.
Elidor. Is that E-L-E-D-O-R?
E-L-I-D-O-R.
E-L-I-D-O-R. Skunk eggs.
The one and only.
Dude, the longest name ever. Goodmonson?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
If it doesn't fit, I can...
Well, let's see. I'm going to have to make the font a lot smaller. Like way smaller. Let's see. I can fit it, but it's going to be small. Let's see. 17 maybe? Yeah. Well, let me shrink this other part here now. 14 maybe? I I should have taken into account these long ass names when I made this thing. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna save it, and you let me know what you think on the stream. Okay, it should be up there. It's kind of tiny.
I love it.
You could even go by Eli too, right? Eli, skunk eggs, good. You know what I mean? Whatever you want. So.
Yeah, actually, if you want to do just Eli,
wanna do
to
Eli?
shorten it up, yeah.
Okay. That'll buy 3 characters worth, at least. All right, 20. All right, maybe that's a little more legible. Let's see. All right, Jess, did you
Yeah, I'm
What'd you
gonna
get?
be Lemsley Rotgut Pains.
That almost sounds like a statement. So
Lemsley Rotgut Pains.
yeah, Lemsley. So Lemslie. Rotgut. Is Rotgut one word?
Yeah,
And then what's the last name again?
Pains.
Pains.
Like Rotgut
Okay.
Pains.
All right, so I'm gonna have to shrink.
Like
the
I
text a
was
little bit,
poisoned. Or ate some bad beans.
which is definitely a possibility. Okay,
that's
so
Me.
I'm saving this out so everyone can see your guys' great names. There we go. We got Rotgut Slim and Skunk Eggs.
Nice.
Okay, now that the names are taken care of, let's move back down to horses. So we do know that, I think, did you roll a 19, Ducky?
Yeah.
So you got a draft horse. So just make sure to note all of the stats on the horse character sheet. And then, so racehorse, draft horse. What did you roll, Ryan?
I got a riding horse. I got a 17.
Okay. All right, now we got to figure out what are these horses like. So roll me another D66.
All right.
What'd you get?
My horse
I
likes
already
being
rolled all.
red too.
Well, that's cute.
Your horse is what?
Too bad I can't read. Just kidding. My horse likes being red too.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe that's your artistry then. Maybe you are a
Yeah.
writer.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's true. Okay. Yeah, that's coming together.
It's coming together, everybody. Rotgut the writer. So I'm curious, why do they call you Rotgut? In the chat, let us know, why do they call it? Why is she known as Rotgut? Now's your
Yeah.
chance.
Great.
Contribute
Go
to the
for it.
backstory.
The backstory.
Oh, the backstory. What about skunk eggs? What's the Elidor? Eli? Is he dropping some?
Skunk eggs is
dropping some
what he
skunk eggs?
smuggles.
Oh,
The
Gunk felt.
finest in the tri-state area.
and I guess Slim. I mean, you're just a slim guy, or is there something deeper to that?
Well, it's kind of like, I mean, I think I'm slim, but also I'm debating if I'm slim or not, because it could be like calling Little John, but he's really a big
Right,
guy.
or
kinda
tiny.
thing.
Yeah, like a guy tiny who's
Yeah, but I could be, because I'm a butcher, but I'm a butcher, not a baker. You know what I mean?
not a
And I
candlestick
probably got
maker.
sick from that poison, you know. So probably just a skinny dude.
Okay. So what about? Did you guys roll for what your horse is like? Other than Jess, I know you rolled already.
Oh yeah, mine likes peace and quiet.
Okay.
Mine likes pre-chewed hay.
Oh. All right. All right. What about the coat? What are the coat of these fine steeds?
Mine's black.
Ooh, of course it is.
Mine is white.
Okay. Got the yin and yang going on here. What about Ducky's horse?
Brown for me.
Brown, okay. Man, if you guys had a gray, that'd be pretty cool. All right. What else we got? A horse name with words related to. Okay, cool. So again, we're gonna roll for horse names.
Yeah, I rolled mine already.
What is it?
I got weather and gambling.
Okay, so you got those are prompts.
Mine is Mercury Longshot.
Oh, nice. So Jess, you got a 4 and a 3. So landmarks and monsters. Interesting.
Okay.
And Ducky, you got 8 and a 1. So violence and animals. Bloody skunk. Go with the skunk
Yes.
eggs.
That is perfect.
What about you, Jess? Any ideas?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. So we are moving on to items. How encumbrance works and stuff. So carry that way. You can carry items in 4 places: in your pockets or sleeves or somewhere else, on your belt, items at holsters, sheaths, or such, on your back with shoulder straps or the like, and on your horse in saddlebags hung from the saddle or thereabouts. And then I guess I get to decide where something's going to fit. Very large or cumbersome items could take up multiple slots. You guys don't really have a whole lot though right now. And so at the bottom you'll see you can have in your pockets 10 item slots. On your belts 3, and on your back is 3. And then on your horse 10 without a rider. Is that what that means? And 20 with rider?
No. 10 with a rider. Yeah, well, you just said 10 with a rider and 20 when you don't have a rider. Yeah.
Okay. So the way things are, this is a really cool way to deal with it, because it's funny, like in a lot of these games that deal with slots for encumbrance, a lot of times they don't designate like small things, right? Whereas this is like, hey, it's what you can fit in a pocket. So silver coins, bullets, a can of beans, 5 silver nuggets. I think there's like a pocket pistol too. On your belt, a revolver, sawed-off shotgun, a knife, a canteen, a rope. On your back, a heavy fur coat, a repeater rifle, a tent, a doctor's bag. So you guys can just let me know if you have any questions where something might go. But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. All right. Now the fun part, right? Get your gun. Roll on the table to see which gun you start with. You also get a shot's worth of ammunition for it. Slots worth. So D66, everybody. Let's see what kind of weaponry you have. So you got Ducky got a 4 and a 4. Repeater rifle.
A repeater, damn.
Nice, man. So what the asterisk means by the D6 is at the bottom of the page. It's exploding whenever you roll maximum damage. Add another damage dice of the same size. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, if you roll a 6, you roll another 6. And then who else? Ryan, or no, Jess, you got, oh, you rolled too, Ryan. I didn't see it. a 1 and a 6. So you got a revolver. And Jess has a 6 and a 6. Double barrel shotgun. Damn. With that hook hand? How are you operating that thing? You just sling it over the hook?
Maybe it is
like
a hook.
this?
It like.
Is this how guns work? This is how guns work, guys.
Dang, D6, 2D6, both barrels. Okay, that's cool. So you get to choose. If you want to shoot both at once. Okay. So ammunition. So what's cool about this game is there's really no, like, you get a slot of ammunition, right? So you're not counting bullets. You're not counting or slugs or rounds or any of that stuff, or arrows even. It's just kind of assumed. I believe, I don't know, did Carl say anything about, like, is a slot used for like one round of combat or like a combat session or what? No?
So in the ammunition section it says, should you roll a 1 on any of your damage dice, you lose an item's slot worth of ammunition. So you literally have as many bullets as you have until you roll a 1. And then you're out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So a slot of ammunition is never ending?
Until you roll a 1. And then you're out.
Okay. So if you, yeah, okay. So that's why you'd want to carry multiple slots of ammo in case you did roll a 1. Okay. Nice.
And, why something like the sawed-off shotgun or the double-barrel shotgun, you're rolling 2 damage dice every time. And especially for the sawed-off shotgun, 2d4, your odds of rolling a 1 are pretty high.
Yeah.
So versus like,
well, she's, yeah, she got the double barrel.
The hunting rifle D8 is you could shoot that forever till you roll a 1.
That's right. And then NPCs run out of ammunition at the GM's discretion. Okay. And also, arrows and throwing knives can usually be recovered without checking. So we probably won't need to roll unless there's some kind of circumstance that, they may get lost or taken. Okay. Another cool rule here. Don't forget your hat. Before rolling damage, you may lose your hat to block all damage from a single attack. When picking it back up, check luck to see if it survived. So yeah, if you guys have lenses or if you have cowboy hats, or I guess Ducky, you can wear your beanie. You can be the first man with beanie in the Lost Frontier.
Friend had to start somewhere.
Yeah. This just goes over ability checks. Pretty straightforward. It's a D12 is or a DR12 is standard. What else? Oh yeah, we should talk about aces. So we already talked about advantage, disadvantage. So an ace in a sleeve, you get one of these on every session. You spend an ace to re-roll any dice that's not a natural 1 or a 20. And if you roll a natural 20 on an ability check, choose between learning a skill or gaining an ace. You can only have up to 6 skills. And then after that, I believe, right, you have to, swap one? Yeah, I think you have to swap one.
So the learning a new skill, yeah.
And then right here is a note. Everyone immediately loses all their aces when any PC rolls a natural 1 on an ability check. So use them because they might go away. This is all pretty standard. I guess we don't really need to go over the rules too much because Ryan has a very in-depth read-through review on our YouTube right now. So if you guys want to get a more in-depth look at the rules, then go check it out. Last thing, let's start at the top. Let's go down these characters. Let's remind everybody who we're dealing with here. So Jess, let's start with you.
I'm Lemsley Rotgut Pains. Not a lot of grit, just a little bit of slick. Very little wits, 0 luck. I have an artist's soul. I'm a writer. I write with my hook hand. I also shoot my double-barreled shotgun with my hook hand. I wanted dead or alive for extortion. I arrested a sheriff and drank on the job. I have a fly net. I have a racehorse named Mount Wendigo. It's white. And it likes to be read to. And I have 4 HP.
And you say your weapons and everything?
Yeah, my double-barrel shotgun.
Double barrel. Okay. Slim Gambit, tell us about yourself.
All right. I haven't decided on the accent yet. I got to pick a part of the South.
Oh, damn, a part
That's
of the
so
South.
specific. That's hard. You are from
It's not.
Florida.
Well, because I'm just going to say I'm from Texas, so I can tell you when someone's from Texas, Alabama, or Georgia, or Tennessee. So I'm probably going to go Georgia just because of some of the stuff here. So I'm Beelzebeth's. And here's the thing is I'm not even trying and it won't go away. Beelzebeth Slim Gambit. I am a butcher cook, wanted dead or alive for casual loitering. I think I might have upset somebody somewhere.
Trying to get someone's girl.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can just cook for them, soothe them right off their feet. At one point in my cooking, apparently, when all the meat was bad and someone tried to poison me, I learned to resist and make poisons. And I also, at some point, was apparently in jail, and I saved a jailbreak, so I'm a good lockpicker. I got a revolver and a meat hook, and my black riding horse named Mercury Longshot, I think I said.
Yeah.
And what else about me? I got a lot of slick and luck. I'm average on the wits.
Piercing eyes.
You got
I
those
do
piercing
have those
eyes.
piercing eyes.
Piercing
And
eyes.
I got a little bit. So here's the thing. I got delicate sensibilities too, and I'm low on grit. So I think part of the reason I have this resistance to poison is like I feel like I'm sickly, kind of like a little bit of what's his face? Val Kilmer from
I'm your Huckleberry?
yeah,
Tombstone.
Tombstone. You know how he was always sickly because he had TB? Maybe I'm always like a little bit sickly because I got
Maybe you
poisoned
just have a little
once.
TB.
Just a little sick, just a
smidge
little.
This is a sample.
Not quite TB, but and not my gut's not as rotten quite as Rocket here, but I got a little bit of that poison hanging on, and I think that's me.
Okay. All right. Well, Eli Skunk Eggs Goodmanson, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Eli Skunk Eggs Goodmanson. Goodmanson?
I don't know. You tell me. It's your name.
It should be
Good
good.
monsoon.
Goodmanson.
Goodmanson.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, is that a Swedish name?
Probably.
Probably.
I'm a
mean-
drifter, wanted for attempted smuggling, wanted dead, because I'm smuggling the finest skunk eggs around.
Ooh.
Where I lack in wits, I make up for in grit with a 3 compared to a -3. I can forage for plants while train surfing, and I can also talk fancy. I've got a repeater rifle, a bar of soap, and anti-venom, and a horse named Blood Skunk who likes pre-chewed hay.
Oh, I have to ask though, what are skunk eggs? Or is that a secret of the trade? What is you say you're smuggling skunk eggs, is that top secret?
You know those like those Kinder surprised eggs that were banned? A little like that.
Okay. Okay.
Ban Kinder eggs, not guns.
They could be actual skunk eggs. Like, weren't pelts like a big deal in the Old West?
Yeah, all those skunks that lay eggs out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those mammals that lay eggs.
Closely related to the platypus, apparently.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we have our scum. That is all, everybody. Can be a short session tonight, just a 0 session. Does anybody have any questions? Any of the players?
Just so one of my favorite parts of the entire thing is just page 27. I don't know if you want to go over that just a little bit. It's like
go to 27.
It's like being down versus being dead, and how we actually do like advancement, because it's more of like a horizontal advancement, not like a vertical advancement.
So yeah, the damage rolls, the 0 one, that one you're talking about?
Yeah, that whole page is just like one of my favorite pages in the entire game.
Yeah, so damage that doesn't bring you to 0 HP or below is represented by dizziness, bruises, near misses, flesh wounds, and the like. So each time your HP reaches 0 or below, you roll a d20 plus your grit and subtract any negative HP from that roll. For non-lethal damage, it's a drop check, meaning a 10 or less, you drop unconscious until you have at least 1 HP. 11 or more remain on your current HP. If the damage is from a potentially lethal source, instead make a death check, and that's what this table is right here. So natural 1, you're dead, but somehow it's even worse. It's even worse than that. 1 or less dead. 2 to 5, you're a goner, and then you roll on this table here. At best, you've got D10 minutes, D8 hours, D6 drawn out days of misery, D4 weeks of tedious expiration. 6 to 10, you're unconscious until you have at least 1 HP. 11 to 15, pick a random ability, roll a d6, and compare the result to your ability. A lesson for better or worse. If the result is higher, increase that ability by 1. This is pretty cool. Lower, decrease the ability by 1. A result of 1 always decreases the ability, but never below a -6. 16 or more, you're hanging in there, remain at your current HP. Natural 20 is second wind. Not only do you heal D4, but you increase your max HP by 1. And while at negative HP, you move it, a crawl, or a stumble.
Which I really like, because so for 16, remain at your current HP. So if you go to like -3, you're at like -3, but hanging on and just literally crawling and stumbling around.
Yep.
Hoping to get healed at some point. And the other thing is, all of the healing in this game comes with like, it's not just like, cool, I drank a poison or I drank a potion. Like you might take like laudanum or something like that, but like then you're drunk for 4 hours. Like it's not easy to heal either, so it's great.
Yeah, there's the conditions, which are interesting right here on the page above. So yeah, resting won't help if you're lacking food. That's very similar in Merkborg, I believe. Water or sleep. Go a day without and become miserable. So miserable is you cannot heal HP from resting. But you can also gain other conditions if they're, applicable to what's going on. Skunked, soggy boots, frostbit, poisoned, exhausted. Yeah, if a condition doesn't have a noted effect, treat it as being miserable or make something up. Then getting rid of the condition depends on what it is. So this was cool. It's kind of a narrative way to solve that issue. So being miserable from cold might require you to find a source of warmth, while being poisoned could require a specific antidote. But some conditions deal damage: drunk 2, cold 1, poison D8. Yeah. So yeah, GMs might call for an ability check. So for example, Ryan, I believe you have advantage on poison, right? Making and being poison.
Resisting and making, yeah.
Yeah, so in that case, I would call for an ability check for him, and he'd get advantage on it, which could become very beneficial.
It could indeed.
Yeah. And that's it. Combat is... Yeah, let's talk about combat briefly, because it's pretty cool, too, the way they have it. Where is it? Book in the Dead. Here we go. So initiative is rolled every round. This is common. You guys are familiar with this. 1 to 3, enemy goes first. 4 to 6, you go first. And then for individual, roll and compare D6 plus 6. So this is how it works, guys. So you can do an action. So on a turn, you can move plus take an action. And here it's outlined if it's a melee attack, you want to check grit. But when the enemy does it, you check grit to avoid being hit. Ranged attack, not a gun. You check slick. You check slick to avoid. So again, this is player-facing rolls. This is I'm not going to roll for stuff like that. Then shooting a gun in melee. I guess that's just if you're right up in the business. You got to roll a grit to hit. and you check grit to avoid being hit. Shooting a gun, this is where it really sets everything apart. Just shooting a gun, you hit automatically. As long as it's not a rough shot or a tough shot, which I'll talk about next. So shooting a gun, a tough shot, you got to check slick. Same thing to avoid. You check luck though. Something else entirely, the GM decides. So tough shots could be the range, how's the visibility, how's the weather, the target, is it tiny, moving, behind cover? The shooter, are they distracted, moving fast, or blindfolded, or blind firing? The gun, a rifle, is at a good range, but a shotgun is better at hitting moving targets. So all of this is conditional. So you will automatically hit if nobody's undercover and conditions are ideal. But it feels like most of the time, if you're in a firefight, it's probably going to be a tough shot. But we'll see. And did you say you had advantage at wrestling or something, Jess? Or Rutgut? So when combatants trade blows back and forth, PCs in the fray should check grit once per round instead of rolling separately to attack and defend. On a success, they hit an enemy. On a failure, so you will get advantage to that. So it'll be beneficial. But yeah, everybody, that is Frontier Scum. At least, I guess, as much as we want to talk about it for now. We have our characters. Well, we have our Scum. And next week, 7 p.m. Thursday, we are going to be running, or I'm going to be, yeah, we're all going to be running it. The adventure, The Oregon Rail. It comes with the book. So it's a really cool adventure. I'll give you a little bit of hint. It's somewhat like the movie Snowpiercer. You've ever, oh, it's okay. You've already scrolled through it. It's not really a spoiler.
I skipped it all.
But you know what it involves, though.
I don't. I know there's a train.
Yeah, you know there's a train.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just, never mind. I'll leave it at that. So everybody out there, thanks for joining us. What's up?
Also, real quick, for those that haven't seen it, look at the freaking book. It is beautiful. It's got this amazing binding on the side, this like kind of open binding. It lays flat. The first printing is sold out, but I've been dropping the Frontier Scum link in the chat. They're going to be doing a second printing on Games Omnivorous sooner than later. So check that out, and they'll also give you the link directly to ttrpg, I think, where you can get the PDF now. Yeah. And I I bought 2 of these just so I could have, just in case one gets damaged, because it's that beautiful.
You know what's funny? I've been reading it. It looks like it will fall apart easily, but it's pretty sturdy.
Oh, like, no, yeah. It's super sturdy binding. I mean, it's completely sewn and glued and everything. It just doesn't have like,
it just, there's no spine.
Piece.
Yeah, there's no spine.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh man, this thing's just gonna fall apart. But no, it definitely holds together.
But yeah, and that helps it lay like super flat on the table too, because when it like opens up in the back, you can see it just kind of like creases together on itself, because there it is. There's no spine. So it's good book. One of the highest rated games we've done on the podcast. I think it's like the 3rd highest rated game we've reviewed in like 40 something games. So
yeah. So tune in next week to check it out. One last thing, this game will also have Blesses and Banes. You'll notice a small deck of cards in the bottom left hand corner of everybody's window. I have Banes obviously to use against the player, so you can see a little description down there. Bless is going to give them a D4 bonus to a D20 roll, and a Bane gives me a roll a negative. It'll negate whatever I roll on a D4 because I'm not rolling. So that's it. That's Frontier Scum, at least the character creation. So thanks for hanging out with us, and stick around for the credits, and we shall see you guys next week for the Oregon Rail. See you guys later.